Hello. It's been a while, both since we've had a video on the channel, and even longer since I've done anything related to graded cards. As you might know, this is a box from PSA, Graded Return. I made a video a long time ago about how I was done with graded cards for a while, and I wanted to give it another shot now that the pandemic is mostly over. I guess we call it over, and things at PSA and other grading companies have supposedly changed. I looked back on it and thought maybe my experience was uniquely bad, uniquely colored by the issues they were experiencing during COVID, so I thought I'd give it one more try, see how I feel about the experience, see how I feel about graded cards in general, and make a new assessment. I have some thoughts on that. I will share them probably at the end of the video, but first want to show what I did. So this time I tried something different. No Pokemon, not even any Star Wars CCG, but rather other games that are a little bit more niche, things that I've made videos about in the past. Ooh, I almost revealed something there, so instead I'm going to start from the back over here and do them one at a time and see what we've got. So first up is, I'm going to, cover the grade. Okay. So this is from the Young Jedi card game. This is from the Reflection set. If you saw my video about Young Jedi, you know this is one of the ultra rare foils from Reflection, one of the most expensive ones, probably second only to Darth Maul, or the same as Darth Maul. I love this card. I think it looks super cool. Not many graded Young Jedi cards out there. So I took little guesses before I did this thing. Sorry, I'm going to move this over. About what grades I thought these cards would get. And I guessed that this one would get a 9. I couldn't see any issues when I inspected it other than some whitening on the back corner. Not so good yet. And it got an 8. Okay. Worse than I thought? Not too far off. I think it looks awesome in the slab. Okay. Next is from the My Little Pony trading card game. And this is one of the Royal Rares. If you recall, those are the totally foil, all full art borderless cards. The second foil rare here from Marks in Time. I predicted this one would get a 9 or 10. I was optimistic for 10. I didn't notice any issues when I inspected it. It got an 8. Okay. I'll have to take a look at that. Could be off-center, but hard to tell when there's no border. We can look at the back. One thing I noticed here, and I saw this online as well, is that the labels are very strange. So if we go back to this one, they actually got the name of the game wrong. It's not the Star Wars CCG. This is the Young Jedi CCG. It was made by the same company, by Decipher, but it's not the same game. And they put the name of the game down here, Young Jedi, and Reflections. So that's the card game name and the set name. And here for My Little Pony, they just called it My Little Pony instead of the My Little Pony CCG, which I guess what it's properly called. Then the name of the card there, and then the set and the rarity type. So it's Marks in Time is a set, Royal Rare is the rarity level. And the brigade name is funny, Princess Twilight Sparkle, Time Patrol. This is, I think, favorite or second favorite My Little Pony card, so also looks cool to have it in the slab. Okay, these are definitely out of order, so I'm doing a little bit of rearranging back here. And going to do the next My Little Pony card, which is another Royal Rare, this one from Sequestria and Beyond. So if you recall from my video, I spoiled the grade there, 9. If you recall from my other video, the Royal Rares, Ultra Rares, whatever, Super Rares from Sequestria and Beyond, as well as the final set, Friends Forever, were actually not foiled. Instead, it has this embossed gold pattern here, but I think it looks awesome. The only cards of characters from the movie were in this set, Sequester and Beyond. I've seen the movie, like I mentioned, with my kids many times. Love this character of Tempest Shadow, voiced by Emily Blunt. So very happy with the grade here. It looks like I predicted this would get a 7, maybe an 8, based on issues I noticed with the card. So very pleasantly surprised to see it has a 9. The print quality in the set, as with the last set, was absolutely atrocious. Like, so many of these cards have all kinds of marks on them and whitening on the back, in particular on the back. So this is actually pretty incredible that it got this grade. Very happy with that. Okay, next is something a bit disappointing, which is this package I got. Card inside. So it looks like, sorry to put the phone down there for a second. It looks like they did not grade 2 of my cards. So this is one from the My Little Pony CCG, once again. It said no spec info. So they actually emailed me about this, saying they're missing info for this card. I provided the info, and they still said it has missing info and couldn't grade it, which is strange because this is a known promo card, Luna's Future. If you saw my Little Pony video, you might recall this is one of the 4 extremely, extremely rare promo cards. This is one of the last cards I got for my collection. I ended up getting another one at one point, which I sold, and getting another one at one point, this one, which was in great condition, decided to have it graded. I did see it was off-center, so I think the conditions seemed to me basically perfect, but due to the centering, I predicted it would get probably an 8, but just would have been happy to have it slabbed. And so it's frustrating they didn't grade it because this is a real card. It does exist, as you can see. And the provenance of the card is known, or at least the general printing of the card is known. If you go to the My Little Pony wiki, it describes which conventions this card was given out at and everything. So people know it exists. It's real. It feels like PSA has two jobs, right? Authenticate the cards and grade them. And for some reason, they can't even authenticate cards that are sort of well-known and real, where, even a quote-unquote layman like myself, who's certainly no expert, was able to find out exactly what this card is, where it came from, where it was distributed, and they could not. Next one, similarly, is from the Wars TCG. This one is also really disappointing because I thought it would be the first card ever graded from the Wars TCG. And if you saw my video about the Wars TCG, you'll know another game made by Decipher, sort of a clone of the Star Wars TCG, but with their own original IP. Awesome, awesome game and art. I just love it so much. I'm going to pull this card out of the sleeve for a second so you can see it. So I thought it would be cool for the first ever Wars graded card for it to be the rarest Wars card. This was a promo they made from the unreleased set 4. So they never even released a set 3. There was only set 1 and 2. 3 and 4 were never released, but they made some promo cards, including this one promo from set 4. Really cool card. I talked about it in the other video. But what's disappointing here is also they said they couldn't sort of authenticate that this is a real card because technically set 4 was never released. So that is true. Set 4 was never released, but this promo was released. And there is a known sort of I don't know what you call it, like a chain of distribution or whatever. Like people know where this distributed, at which conventions, at which tournaments, where it was given out, who it was given out to. And I had some of that data and I sent it to PSA and they, I guess, ignored the email and didn't grade the card. Also worth noting, they said they weren't going to charge for these ungraded cards, which is true. They didn't charge the grading fee, but I still, of course, got charged the shipping fee and the insurance fee, which were based on how many cards I graded and the total value of them. So a little bit misleading to say we're not going to charge you for this because they did charge me for the shipping and the insurance. So that is it for the Young Jedi CCG, My Little Pony, and Wars. We have next are a bunch of cards from the Neopets TCG. Okay, this one is Darkest Fairy Doll from the set Darkest Fairy. Let's see what my prediction was over here. Sorry, moving around the paper. Okay, the production quality in this video is about as unprofessional as PSA's customer service. Okay, I predicted this would get an 8. It looks like there was a little pockmark and some lipping on the edges, and it got a 9. So pleasant surprise there. I'm actually surprised. I don't know if you can see it, but I think there was a pockmark over there. Love this card. Okay, next one, also from Neopets, Night Steed. This one I predicted would get a 10. I mean, it's an optimistic prediction to make, but I didn't notice any flaws when I inspected it, so 8. Okay, not sure. Would have to take a look at that. I'm noticing also now that they did something weird with the the Neopets cards, where it says 2005 Neopets. The name of the game is Neopets TCG. So they sort of put that there, and the Darkest Fairy is the name of the set. Here, the name of the set, this is in Lost Desert. So here they put sort of the name of the card game, the name of the set, the name of the card, and then holofoil. These are indeed holofoil cards, but that's a card type. I don't know, it looks like before they did, for something like My Little Pony, where they got it properly, they put the name of the game, the name of the card, and then the set. So not sure why they chose to do it this way for Neopets. Not sure if I need to have these reslabbed or whatnot. Probably not going to bother with that. Okay, this card, Judah, the Island Fairy, famous for running the trading post, which was one of my favorite parts of playing Neopets. Here, once again, I noticed, oh no, this one I did notice some faint scuffing on the back. So I predicted a 9, and it got an 8. Oh, and here, yeah, Neopets Mystery Island, that's the name of the set that it's in. 2 more Neopets cards to go. This one, Fairyland, iconic location from the game. My favorite location, where you can go to the Wheel of Excitement, the Healing Springs. Really wanted to get this one graded. Here, once again, didn't notice any flaws with it. I pulled this actually straight from a pack from the set Hannah and the Ice Caves. Yeah, they have the set name over there. One of the hardest sets to come by, second only to probably the set called The Darkest Fairy. And this got a 9. And then the last card, exciting, also from Hannah and the Ice Caves, Secret Rare. The Jelly Shoiru. So you can see it's number 152 out of 150. Oh, they got that right. Okay. And I didn't notice any flaws with this one. I inspected it pretty carefully. Got a 9. Huh. Not sure. Maybe someone who's more well-versed in PSA can tell me if there are flaws I'm not noticing, like centering or print lines, but I inspected it and didn't see any of those things. So as I arrange the cards here, maybe I'll talk a little bit about the overall experience. So customer service and things like that were way better. The turnaround time was way better. I think from the date I logged the order and mailed these in to the date that I received them back at home, which was today, yeah, you're getting this live, basically live, was 2 months. So I think that's pretty good. That's, not ideal, but a pretty fast turnaround time, especially compared to COVID times. I did not appreciate their communication, which was to say, we're not going to grade these cards. And then I provided them details about the cards and they still did not grade them. Here are the 2 ungraded cards over here. And I did not appreciate that they messed up the labels. Again, it feels like they have 2 jobs, which is like identify and authenticate the cards and then grade them. And They can't always identify them or authenticate them properly. But these are niche games, not well known. I do think you could figure that stuff out in like a 5-minute Google search. I clearly did not do a great job predicting the grades. It feels like kind of strange to me that 2 of them were way higher than expected. I mean, this one in particular, way higher than expected. Some of them a lot lower. Like, I really thought this one would be a 10. I didn't notice a single thing wrong with it when I inspected it very, very closely. So we'll see what I choose to do with these. I might sell some. I might keep some for my collection. I still feel not very bullish on grading, my own personal opinion, for the reasons I articulated in that video. You can probably look it up and go see again. But not only due to the customer service and the lack of sort of quality when it comes to authenticating and identifying cards, but just the arbitrariness of it. This did feel pretty arbitrary to me. Might be my lack of experience, but also might be the truth. So I'm glad I did it. I think it was worth the money spent, especially if I can sell some of these cards for premium to make up some of those costs back and maybe keep a couple of them in slabs. Overall, 4 out of 10, maybe would recommend.